Hi there. Today I'm just going to show you how we can set up a camera in 3ds Max so that it has a similar sort of camera angle to what we see here with this background image in our After Effects file. So here what we've got is we've got a couple of layers. We've got over here we've got our animation layer, which is in a scene of a layer of its own, and then we've got our background layer. Okay, so you can notice here that we've got the horizon line, which is somewhere back here. We've actually left a lot of space here, road area, so that our characters can jump around and they're not going to be intersecting with anything in the background here. Now, if you have a look at my 3ds Max file, if I was to render this out, there we go, you can see that it's not really the same camera angle as what we have in our After Effects file. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a camera in 3ds Max so that it mimics what we have in the After Effects file. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a camera. I'm just going to pop out of this and I'm just going to make sure that I have a front view here, and I'm going to come into create, and then in cameras I'm just going to create a free camera, and then I'm just going to click it in the front window here. Okay, and there's our little camera. Now down in the perspective area here you can also see that we've got a little camera right underneath the ground there. What we're going to do is I'm just going to select the camera, and then in perspective I'm just going to change that just by selecting the perspective word in this viewport here, and then I'm just going to left mouse click, and then I'm just going to come up to cameras and say camera 1, select camera 1. Now this is what the camera is actually seeing. You can see here that we're very close to this this shape. So if I just, having the camera selected, if I just pull the camera back a little bit, okay, in this top view like this, and then if I just drag it over like this, that's looking pretty good. Now this is very close to what I had in my my background image here, the way that the camera is set up and the camera angle, but I just want to give a little bit more space just in here. I just want to lift this horizon line, or the bottom of these walls here, just up a little bit. So I'll go back into my 3ds Max file, and just in the side I'm just going to hit E, and I'm just going to tilt the camera down just slightly, and then you can notice that this actually lifts the horizon line up and down, and I'm just going to give it about that much rotation, which is really just probably, let's have a look, yeah, it's less than a degree, about 1 degree rotation down. Okay, actually let's just make that 89. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to render this out. So I'm going to hit Alt W, and then I'm going to render it. So I go into my render setups. Now I'm going to render this out as just a single image, but I also want to make this a HD TV resolution. So I'm going to, in the output size, I'm going to just scroll down HD TV, and then I'm just going to select 1280 by 720. So make sure that that's selected. And then down here in the render output file, I'm just going to click on File, and then I'm going to, where it says All Formats, I'm going to select, what should we select? Let's just select a JPEG. And that should be it. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll just give this a name, background image, and I'm just going to stick it on the desktop just so that I can find it easily. And then I'll hit Save. Oops, sorry, I have to type the name in again. Background image, and then I can hit Save. Now here we've got the different types of quality for the renders. I'm just going to go ahead and select Best. Now this is if you're happy with the way that the camera looks. Actually, let's just let's just make it, you know, at 50%. This is what you'd want to render it out at if you were just doing tests, if you're going backwards and forwards. So if I was rendering it out at 50%, it's going to render a lot quicker. If I render it at best, it's going to take a long time to render. So let's just render it out at 50%, and this is 50 cents, and this is this will be our test render. And so we'll just say OK, and then here I'm just going to say render. And there's our image. Great, so it's rendered it onto the desktop. Let's go have a look at it. There it is. Great. Now what we can do is we can actually take this and we can drag and drop it into our project folder. Okay, and we'll just drag and drop it in there. And you can see there that it's put it in there. It's called background JPEG. And then once it's in there, then I can drag it and create a layer. Okay, so let's just drop it down here. I'm going to turn off this layer here for the meantime, this background layer, and there you can see we've got our new background. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, then after I'm happy with that, what I can do is I can then create a render of this. So I'd add this to render queue, and then in here I would say if there was music, yes, there is music for this one, so let's select audio output. We're going to create an AVI file, that's fine. Let's just put the TechSmith screen capture codec on it. Or actually, for this one, why don't we try something new? Why don't we try creating a QuickTime, and we'll, oh no, we can't. So we'll just make that an AVI. Yeah, we will make it an AVI TechSmith screen capture codec. Fantastic, and then just say OK, and then you just give it a name. Background image render, or whatever you'd like to call it. And then I'm just going to save that onto the desktop, and then we just hit render. Now this will take a little bit of time. You can see here that we've got the progress bar is a little bit slow, so I'll wait for this to render and then I'll come back to you when this is done. Okay, so this is just about done. You can see here I was actually using, oh there we go, that little noise means that it's done. I was using a Lumikey setting. My laptop was playing up this morning and it wasn't playing that file properly, so I loaded in another one and I used a Lumikey expression over here. So that's why it's looking a little weird. But if we just go onto the desktop and we just have a look and see how this went. Now you'd want to do a couple of tests, you know, just to make sure that you've got the right camera angle. There we go. So that's working. We'll just skip forward here. If you wanted to, you could go back in and you could, maybe I might just adjust it so that this line here is just a little bit lower. But overall, I mean, that's pretty good. That's looking okay. You can see what I was talking about with the Lumikey. These guys are a little bit transparent, but you'll get the idea. If you do this at Murdoch University, you shouldn't have any trouble with those files. They should work perfectly. So that's pretty much it. So I hope that helped you. All the best with this background assignment, and I look forward to seeing them. Thanks.